buddies. Hi, pals. Welcome to Boozing with Jude. Jude, what's going on? Yeah, it's Americana Day today. Even though the drink I'm going to show you is, was not really created in America. It's created with a very American spirit. And so I am celebrating the beginning of football season, real football, like American football, because my New Orleans Saints won yesterday. Yeah, I also like the Detroit Lions, but they're just never gonna win. So they're like the Chicago Cubs who finally did win in like County Mayo and whatever that sport is in Ireland that they play, like the big curse. Um, and I'm celebrating, not celebrating, kind of being sad about the end of baseball with my Detroit Tigers hat on it. Once again, the Tigers had a banner year. Not, they sucked. So, what am I making for you today, fans, buddies, pals, friends? A drink called the Boulevardier. Boulevardier. Yes, it's a very French name, isn't it? But created by an American. So, what is the Boulevardier? Well, you Negroni lovers will recognize it because it's basically a Negroni with bourbon. Although today I'm using rye because it really makes it good. So, history of the Boulevardier is this. Back in the days of prohibition, which again, I'll tell you what that means for Americans, that means no alcohol for us. Bummer. What happened is bartenders all over, because the cocktail culture was like coming out, right? And then these like loser Americans said, yeah, no more alcohol here. So like, bummer. And so bartenders like in droves like went other places, and the first one to go, the first famous one, was a guy by the name of Harry McAlone. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but first he went to London, then he went to New York. Excuse me, he's from New York. He was in New York. He went to London, and then he went to Paris and opened his own bar called Harry's New York American Bar. And he's also made some cocktail books where you can find some old cocktail recipes. So Harry's quite famous, right? So Harry's hanging out in Paris, and there's an expat there by the name of Erskine Gwynn. Erskine Gwynn was a writer. He was a socialite because he came from money, and I'll tell you from whence in a minute. And he also was the sort of editor of this periodical called the Boulevardier, kind of like the New Yorker, I suppose, the 1920s version of the New Yorker. And he had a lot of money, so he got to be an expat in Paris because he was, I think, the nephew of which Vanderbilt. Okay, I can't remember the Vanderbilt that he was the nephew of, but the Vanderbilt name, that means a lot here. When I hear the name Vanderbilt, I hear cha-ching, cha-ching, and that means Vanderbilt people, like relatives, get to go hang out in Europe and basically do nothing but write magazines and stuff. He was a writer, and and make up drinks. So he liked this drink, and this drink precedes the Negroni. It does, yes, it does. The Negroni wasn't written down for a long time after that, so maybe they never even heard of a Negroni, and this drink just came up. So it's basically 1/3 Campari, 1/3 sweet vermouth, and 1/3 bourbon whiskey. I'm using rye today. I'm using bullet rye. So that's the history of it. But it's still a very American drink because of the main spirit. Where does bourbon come? You can't, even though I'm using rye, you can't call it bourbon unless it's made in America, made in the USA, right? So that's what we're going to make today. I think I just chipped my table. Okay, you know what? I haven't been drinking. That just happened. I went to reach for my shaker, and I knocked it over, and I'll see if I can edit that out, but I'm betting I can't. So, yeah, I'm a klutz. Okay, Max is here, chewing on a bone. She buried it yesterday in the back little garden area. She buried it. It took her forever. She kept using her nose, put it in this hole, buried it. It probably took her about 10 minutes to just get it covered up. Then she wandered around, did her little business, and came back 2 minutes later, and she dug it up, and then she acted all excited when she found it. Why do dogs do what they do? I don't know, but I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Okay, so let's go with the Boulevardier. We're going to make this in a shaker with ice, and then we're going to pour it over on the rocks. And I see that, yeah, I've got a strainer I can use. One never knows. And we're going to garnish it with the ever popular orange peel because we still got the Campari that's got the orange in it. So, and all the other things we don't know. So we're going to put a lot of ice in here and fill her up. And I'm just not prepared. I've got nothing. I have to go get my shaker. I'll be right back. Hang in there, folks. You know, go Saints, go Tigers. Be right back. So, friends, Jude's a little befuddled today. Why, Jude? I have no idea. You know what? It's just COVIDology. I'm befuddled. All right, so I got the ice in my shaker. I've got my this is what I needed. You know what? Because even though I don't usually measure, I should on this show. So it's basically 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. The same amounts of each, just like the Negroni, easy to remember. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1 ounce of I'm using Bullet rye. And again, you can use bourbon because that's the original recipe, but this is a good drink. So 1 ounce of Bullet, how do you pronounce it? Like the ammunition, son, into our shaker. And then 1 ounce of, I'm going to use again some of this Antica Formula Outstanding Vermouth, because when I was up north, and that means up north in Michigan, that's what we Michiganders say when we go up north, which we all do because it's beautiful up there and there are lakes and we try to, hold on to summer. So when I was up north, I found another bottle and I bought it. But I'm happy so I can use this lovely, lovely sweet vermouth. Just love the smell of it. If you do get a bottle, sip it neat or a little bit on the rocks. You'll be pleasantly surprised. And then, as we all remember, Campari, which is an Amaro, and it's red because it used the shells of, I can't pronounce it, some beetle called the cochineal beetle that used to make it. They don't use it anymore, not in this, because you know what? If they were using that to make this red, Judy wouldn't be drinking it. You know what? I'm adventurous, but I don't eat bugs. So, at least I haven't yet. I think when I was 4, I might have put a worm in my mouth. Don't really know. I mean, I know I was kind of, I did stuff like that. So it wouldn't surprise me. All right, so we got that going. We've got our rocks chilling. We're going to shake this up until the cows come home. That's a very Midwestern phrase because, we got cows everywhere. And then, well, it worked, but it moves, but it just, you know what? Maybe I'm not supposed to have a cocktail today. Okay. Dump this ice back in here. And here I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. This is a big round piece of ice. God, man, glad I didn't break my glass. I was letting it temper. I didn't realize it had totally usually you have to kind of pry it out. I like having a big piece of ice in there because it melts slower. And it doesn't, well, this is a drink I don't want to water down. Sometimes I don't mind it, but the bigger the ice, the more slowly it melts. And so there we're going to do that, and that's perfect. Probably can't see it. Here, look. Look! Okay, and then I'm going to take my orange garnish, which I cut. I'm going to start cutting them in front of you after this because it's really not fair. You should see my mistakes. So we're going to express that. Ooh, I love it. And put that in there. So, ladies and gentlemen, hi there. Here we have the Boulevardier, created in Paris during the Prohibition by an American, a wealthy nephew of a Vanderbilt. Which Vanderbilt? Began with an A. I can't remember. But if you ever come to, here, I'm going to help you out here. If you ever come to America, you can go see the Vanderbilt home in Asheville, North Carolina. And they have other places. Kind of a wealthy family. So let's see what we think of this. Not the Negroni, the Boulevardier. Oh, salute. Or what do we say in Paris? Cheers. I don't speak French. That's good. You know what? It's funny. When I started this show, I said, I'm not a big bourbon drinker. I'm not a big, except for scotch. I love scotch, but not a big whiskey drinker. And as I've done it more and more, I'm starting to just really appreciate, not straight. Speaking of not straight, my hat is kind of crooked. But rye is a nice kind of spicy, subtle flavor. It still gives you that kind of boozy kick, but I'm really starting to like rye. So folks, this is an outstanding drink. Max, I can hear you chewing the bone from way over here. I suggest you try it, Negroni lovers. If if you want to get a little bit of Americana in your life, go for it. And until next time, who knows what I'll be making? I don't. Maybe you do. If you have any suggestions, let me know. And if you ever want to subscribe, click the subscribe button below and maybe hit a like. And it would make me feel a little bit better because I feel like I'm out here on my own. So have a good one. Until next time on Boozing with Jude, you guys take care.